Hello and welcome back to our second structured data project. Now, this one's really exciting, right? Because we're going to be predicting the sale price of bulldozers. Who doesn't love bulldozers? I remember when I was a kid, I used to have all these tractors like Tonka trucks and used to play with them all the time. And this one's a little bit different. Of course, it's a regression problem because we're trying to predict a number, aka the sale price of bulldozers. But what we're going to do is we're going to take data. And in this case, the data, see this little clock emoji, it has a time component to it. So that means in our previous project, there was no time series. It was just a big static data set. Whereas this one, there's a sale date component, which means that a bulldozer has been sold on a certain date. And so what we'll be doing is using sales from the past to try and predict sales in the future. And that's our problem definition, right? Is we'll take our data, which is full of bulldozer sales, and we're trying to predict the sale price. And I mean, you might be looking at this emoji and going, that's a tractor, Daniel, that's not a bulldozer. And yeah, I know, there's no bulldozer emoji, sadly, yet. That may be an update coming from Apple, but who knows, fingers crossed. Of course, we're going to use our 6-step machine learning framework. We'll start by defining our problem, which is, of course, seeing if we can predict the sale price of bulldozers. We'll have a look at some data. We'll find an evaluation metric which is suitable for our problem. We'll then have a look at the features of the data. We'll of course try some machine learning modeling because after all that's our goal, is to build a machine learning model that helps us to predict the sale price of bulldozers. And throughout the entire session we'll be doing experiments. Now we've seen what tools we can use and we're going to be using the exact same tool set that we used in the previous structured data project. So we'll have pandas, matplotlib, and numpy for data analysis. We'll be working within a Jupyter Notebook using our Conda environment, and we'll use scikit-learn for any machine learning modeling. Now, because this is a new project, we'll approach it as if it's a new project. We've got our steps to take in a new project here, but we've been through these. We've got our computer, we've downloaded and installed Miniconda. This is where we're at now. We're starting a new project. So we'll create a new project folder. And now, of course, because we're using the exact same tools as what we did in the previous structured data project, you could complete this entire project, the bulldozer sale price prediction, in that previous folder. However, for completeness, we're going to create a new project folder. We'll download our data from Kaggle. We'll get to that in a second. We'll create an environment which holds all of our tools that we'll be using. We'll use our Jupyter Notebook as our workspace. We'll perform data analysis and manipulation using our NumPy, Pandas, and Matplotlib tools, and then machine learning using scikit-learn. Now, of course, if you do get stuck, and don't worry, you probably will, I get stuck all the time. The steps that you can take is to follow along with the code as best you can. Try it for yourself. Remember our motto, if in doubt, run the code. Then if you want to find out more about what a function is doing, remember to press Shift and Tab to read the docstring, which will give you some information of what a function is doing. If you're still stuck then, of course, don't be afraid to search for it, right? You'll come across resources like Stack Overflow, the documentation for scikit-learn, Pandas. And then, if you've searched for it and you find some information, maybe you copy it from the documentation into your Jupyter Notebook, then of course, try again. Remember, if in doubt, run the code. And if you're still stuck, never be afraid to ask a question. If you're sitting on something and you're thinking, oh, I wish I knew the answer to this. I can't find it anywhere. Just ask, right? If you're running into an issue like that, more than likely someone else is running into a similar issue. So don't be afraid to ask. Post a question. You can go to Stack Overflow or Discord or anywhere else you can ask a question. Never be afraid to ask a question. All right. With that being said, let's not wait any longer. Let's get our project folder set up and get into the second project.